Quinnipiac women's hockey matched up with a fellow top 10 team. How did the Bobcats fare?
Both soccer teams threw down on the pitch against the MAC. We have all your highlights.
Plus, volleyball beat reporter Eric Kerr joins us with outside hitter Ariana Diaz. All that and more. Sports Paws starts right now. And we welcome you inside Studio 125. I'm Jack Main, alongside Maddie Casford, making her Q30 debut. What a weekend it was in Quinnipiac athletics.
Both soccer and hockey teams were in action, along with the field hockey and volleyball teams. Was women's soccer coach Dave Clark able to get his 200th win?
We're going to find about that later in the show, but for starters, we travel all the way up Interstate 89 to Burlington, Vermont, where the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team took on the Catamounts of UVM. Bobcats 9-1 in their last 10 regular season decisions. Could they keep up the success against the Catamounts? Last time they faced off against the guys in gold and green was October 2019. That was a 4-0 dub for the Bobcats. Scoreless first brings us into the second. It's Jaden Lee trying to go in for Ty Smolonic, but look at the save by Tyler Harmon. We're going to keep it in the second here. This is Ethan DeYoung bringing it close to Bon Giovanni with the left-handed stick going in. Wyatt giving his first goal of the season. That makes it 1-0 Bobcats. Final period of action. Senior Michael Lombardi pushes it up. Zach Metza gets the assist. Look at the pretty shot into the top right corner. Nothing Harmon could do right there. The boys got a 2-0 dub up in Vermont. They open up their season 2-0. Switching locker rooms now, the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team had a top 10 matchup against number 9 Providence this past weekend. Game 1 was played at Schneider Arena, and we have the footage for you right here, right now. We're going to open up in the first period. As soon as we show you this nice shot of the middle of the rink out there at Providence College. Here we go. First period of action. Claire Tayo is going to pass up to Bailey Burton, who takes a shot at the crowded goal, but it's Caroline Peterson who finally is able to get it in past Logan Angers. That makes it 1-0 Providence on the power play. Bobcats unable to kill off penalties, a weakness of them just a year ago. Skipping ahead, action-packed third period. Take a look at this block here by Nina Steigoff on a Providence opportunity. Oh, no, we got a goal. We got a Bobcats goal on the goal right there. That's Taylor House, excuse me. She's able to get it past the goalie, and that ties the game up at 1. The grad student gets her second goal of the year. After the scramble on goal, Brooke Becker brings it far and out, rears back someone passing the defenders, and it's just into the glove of Logan Angers. They're going to take a look at this play, but it does stand as a goal for Providence. It's 2-1, but not for long. Here comes Zoe Boyd over for Courtney Forster, who puts it in. Forster's second goal of the season ties things up at 2 goals apiece. They would go into overtime. No goals were scored, so it's a 2-2 draw for these two top 10 teams.
Game 1 ended in a draw, but the Bobcats look to rebound in the rematch against Providence on home ice at the People's United Center. Let's take the highlight. Quinnipiac welcomes Providence to the People's United Center for the second game of their weekend series. Providence and Quinnipiac drew the previous game with Taylor House and Courtney Forster scoring goals. Can the Bobcats take down number 9 Providence? Going into the first, an early penalty against the Bobcats gives Providence forward Bailey Burton an opportunity at a penalty shot against Corrine Schroeder. Burton then skates up towards Quinnipiac's left dot as she shoots and misses off of Schroeder's left leg pad. Going into the second period, Providence defender Lily Martinson shoots towards the Quinnipiac net as Haley Lonnie deflects the puck past the red line to give Providence the 1-goal advantage. Quinnipiac responds with Renee Saltness firing a wrist shot that lands on a silver plate in front of House, who drills it into the net, tying the game. Later on, forward Nina Steigoff fires a wrist shot that hits the post, keeping the score even at 1. Going into OT, we begin with a House breakaway, which forced defenseman Brooke Becker to commit a penalty, giving Quinnipiac a 4-on-3 advantage. On the advantage, House shot the puck that deflected off Sandra Abstrader's shoulder, which would do it for the action here. The Bobcats settled for another tie against Providence, their record now being 6-0-2.
What a weekend of women's hockey for the Quinnipiac for Cass Turner's squad. And after the tie on Sunday, Q30 hockey beat reporter Gage Kilborn caught up with Cass Turner after the game to get her thoughts on Saturday's tie.
The women's ice hockey team tied Providence today 1-1 and are now 6-0-2 in the regular season. When asked about the team's performance today, Cass Turner said the team is just getting better.
Very well. I think we kept getting better. Our third period yesterday was outstanding, and we started the game today very strong, and we got some great chances. So, when you play a team like Providence who's strong, and I think we put 38 on net today, that's a good amount of shots. That means we were working hard to win pucks back. We were working hard to get pucks to the net. I think we're happy with that part. I think we got to figure out how to be a little bit grittier around the net. You look at all the goals we scored, and we're getting second shots. We're going to the net, we're finding rebounds, and we're getting second shots, and we can do that more.
Not only did the Bobcats tie both games this series, they also came back 3 times. When asked about the heart and soul of the team, Cass Turner said it's just the grit.
They want to win. They want to win, and they're resilient. And, last spring we talked a lot about just that ability to come back, because we didn't feel that throughout our games last year. And I think it's something that they're pretty actively working to accomplish. I think we'd love to go up so we don't have to come back, but it's a game, and if the other team scores, it doesn't mean it's over. It means you got an opportunity to come back, and I think they're really working on that mentality and that resiliency.
The big star of this series has to be Taylor House with 2 goals in 2 games. When asked about the leadership of the 5th-year seniors, she said it's more than letters on a jersey.
I think even with or without letters on the jerseys, like I know Liz, our captain, and she's been a great captain, but I think we all just, the younger kids can look up to us, and they know that no matter what their question is, we've gone through 4 years of it, and they can just look to us with whatever they need help with and just be that confidence booster that they know will do what we've been doing for the last couple years.
The Bobcats will begin their home ECAC play against the Union Dutch women Friday, November 5th. Reporting from the People's United Center, I'm Gage Kilborn, 230 Sports.
With a strong weekend performance against Providence, graduate forward Taylor House was named the ECAC Player of the Week. House potted 2 goals in 2 straight games against the Friars, bringing her total count to 3 this year. The forward from Illinois also had 2 assists and a +2 rating this season as she continues a strong start to her grad year campaign. Take a look at all those pretty stats for the graduate forward. She's been around this program for a long time. For her to say something like that, that's big news.
Switching gears from the ice to the pitch, Quinnipiac's men's soccer faced the Iona Gales on Wednesday. Could the Bobcats continue their winning ways after last week's overtime victory against Canisius?
Iona was able to take this one 3-1 against the Bobcats. Bobcats on a little bit of a losing streak right now. But, strong weekend. Now we had to take a look at what happened against Niagara. They look to reverse their fortunes, and we've got the video highlights for you right here, right now. Bobcats trying to snap a little skid they're on. They're in danger of losing 5 in a row. Let's go ahead and jump right into that first half. Are the Bobcats able to start hot? This is going to be Bragassen as he's able to get one into the net. That makes it 1-0 Bobcats. They're off to a good start. Set piece opportunity for Niagara as Dillman nestles one into the header into the net. We are all tied at 1. Just under 2 minutes later, a bit of pinball in the box. Take a look, but it's finally the left foot. First ball all season for McCann, and the Bobcats are back on top, 2-1. And look at Andres Gavril getting up, making a nice save twice on that save. It stays tied. Bobcats lead going into the half. Alo Almari puts the Bobcats on skates and then has one with the goalie. He's going to tie this game up at 2 on this pretty left-handed finish, and he gets right past Haji Gavril. Shoot the arrow, my man. Bobcats on a corner opportunity, and they are unable to pot it home. Niagara takes this one 3-2. Following Saturday's game, soccer beat reporters Shannon Tierney and Roberto Casillas broke down the men's soccer's loss to Niagara.
I'm Shannon Tierney here with Roberto Casillas at the Quinnipiac Soccer Stadium as the Quinnipiac men's soccer team just lost 3-2 to Niagara here today. Roberto, what went wrong?
I think Eric DaCosta pretty much said it in his post-game press conference. I think they started the game well. The first half was probably the best they played in the MAC this year. They brought out new formation. Paulo Suarez was in the wing-back role. He was playing great. Everybody was doing their jobs, and they could have scored more goals. But then in the second half, a completely different team came out to the second half. It just was not great at all. Not a good effort in the second half by this team. And like he said it, they deserved to lose the game based on how they performed in the second half. They didn't do the things that they were doing in the first half. They didn't get on the ball. They were allowing chances. They were allowing Niagara to push forward. And in the end of the day, they did. And they scored 2 goals. And by the time it was over, like, Quinnipiac didn't have any time to respond. So I think that the second half effort was very poor. And at the end of the day, that ended up deciding the fate of the day.
Another MAC loss here today. What is your opinion on the state of the team right now?
It's very difficult to tell because this is a team that we know has the ability to play a much better brand of soccer, and the results just haven't been there. They started the season 5-0, and ever since then they're 2-6, 2-4 right now in the MAC. They could end the day being one of the bottom 2 teams in the MAC. When this team was, it was a favorite to win the MAC. They were preseason poll. They were favorites to win it all. And now it's a very different situation. And up next is Monmouth, who's 4-0, who's a very good team, nationally ranked opponent. They lost the MAC championship against them, so it doesn't get any easier from here on out. It's gonna be a struggle to try to even get to the playoffs anymore. Like there's nothing for certain with this team anymore. When over the past few years we've expected them to host playoff games, now they're just trying to make it. So I still think that this team is gonna find a way to make things right, and they're going to start generating the results, and they're going to start playing a bit better. And I do think they're going to make the playoffs. But, yeah, definitely right now it's a little dicey. It's a little up in the air, and we'll just have to wait and see if this team can turn it around.
We'll have to wait and see. The Quinnipiac men's soccer team will face Monmouth next Saturday.
Dropping 4 out of 5 is not what Eric DaCosta had in mind. And with that being said, let's take a look at the updated men's soccer MAC standings. They're being pulled up for you right here, and you see the Bobcats drop all the way to 9th in the conference. They are 2-4 in conference play. Monmouth, Marist, and St. Peter's standing strong at 5-0, 4-2, 3-2-1 respectively. 4 out of 5 weekend. 4 out of 5 stretch for the Bobcats. They're going to have to turn it around if they want a real shot at a home seed.
Next, we'll take a look at women's soccer as they welcome the Canisius Golden Griffins to Hamden on Wednesday. How did the Bobcats perform? Let's find out. Quinnipiac women's soccer facing Canisius in Hamden, looking for Dave Clark's 200th win at home. Going into the first half, a penalty against Michaela Bellari sets up Selena Salas for a penalty kick that she will net against Canisius first-year goalkeeper Jordan Spencer. Just a few minutes later, off the corner, Courtney Chokel sends the ball to the top of the box to first-year Ella Gagno, who scores her 2nd goal of the season. 2-0 Bobcats. Still in the first, Anna Costello sends the ball over to a wide-open Michaela Bellari, who will score and put the Bobcats up 3 going into the second half. 3-0 Bobcats. Going into the second half, Canisius looking for the comeback opportunity with this free kick just outside the box, but Emma Oliphant kicks it right at the Quinnipiac wall. 3-0 Bobcats. One last opportunity for Canisius from Erin Weir, whose shot will hit the crossbar. 3-0 Bobcats. Dave Clark gets his 200th win. Women's soccer head coach Dave Clark hit a milestone in his career after the victory over Canisius, reaching his 200th win with the program. Clark is now in his 22nd season at the helm for the Bobcats, as he helped the program expand and progress. Since 1999, Clark stands alone at the top with the most wins of any coach in program history. He also led the Bobcats to the 2000 Northeast Conference Championship and the 2016 MAC Championship game.
An amazing win total for the guy who has been at the helm for the Bobcats, as you mentioned, 22 seasons. And despite the individual milestone, Clark was quick to give the credit out to the people that surrounds him. Soccer beat reporter Ben Kane has more on the story.
I'm Ben Kane outside the Quinnipiac Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium after an emphatic 3-0 win for the Bobcats against Canisius. Not only was this game a big win for the team, but it was also a big game for Dave Clark as it marked his 200th win as a Quinnipiac coach. We caught up with Dave Clark after the game to talk about what it meant to win in Hamden.
I said this to Maggie, it's more like about longevity, and in some ways it probably should have been a lot more, but you know, it also, it's a nice honor. It's a collective of all the teams that have been here, but you know, this team, you know, 10 wins today, 10 of the season, so we don't get there without those players, all 31 of them.
What has made Dave Clark so successful in his career is not only the trust he has in his big-time players, but also the trust he has in players coming off the bench and putting them into new positions. Today, we saw the likes of Taylor Dowdell coming off the bench and trying out a new position, left wing.
Started as a left back. We're her pace and our crossing ability, and I think sometimes with her is she reacts better when she's not real pressure on her. She just wants to go forward. So rather than having her play and worry about defending, we've been able to push her on. Like she does a lot of good things in practice. It's just waiting for her to, you know, get into the back post. She was unlucky the other day. She scored a good goal that was disallowed. So you can see her pace and her crossing ability, just that confidence coming in. So there's more to come from Taylor.
The Bobcats are back in action on Saturday against Siena away at 1 p.m. From Q30 Sports, I'm Ben Kane.
The Bobcats took a road trip up to Siena on Saturday to take on the Saints, looking to continue the nice roll they've been on. We've got the results from that game, and as you can see, Bobcats drop 1-0. Quinnipiac stifled on offense, and in a game that they trailed mostly the entire time, and the lone goal was scored by Emily McCandless in the 6th minute of contest. You see Bobcats actually outshot and had more saves than Siena, but unable to take home the dub. Still a successful week for the women.
It's been a busy week for women's soccer, so let's take a look at how the teams stack up in the latest MAC women's soccer standings. At the top of the MAC, we have Monmouth. And at the bottom, we have Manhattan. And right in the middle, we have Fairfield. And at number 3, we have Quinnipiac.
5-2 record for the Lady Bobcats. Also in contention for that home seed. You know, they have a strong end of the season. That'll put them right there.
We have to step up for a moment, but we will be back with highlights of volleyball and exclusive hot seat interview with Ariana Diaz. Stick with us.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. We now head to the Burke Con Court as we take a look at the volleyball team's performance against Iona this past Saturday. The The Bobcats would fall in 3 straight sets to the Gales on Saturday afternoon at home. The Bobcats were led by Ariana Diaz in kills as she registered 8, while Olga Zampati and Maggie Baker each tailed 5. The Bobcats were also led by Diaz and Diggs as she picked up 9, but it was not enough to overcome the Gales.
Would the Bobcats recover from their Saturday loss? We take a look at volleyball's matchup versus Manhattan yesterday, Sunday evening from the Bert Kahn court. We're going to open up here on Nicole Lett, getting her team pumped up. Let's go. Number 14 for the Bobcats, looking to be that spark plug to turn the tide on what has been an unfortunate season so far. First set, it's going to be Erin Honer. Throws it up and throws down the hammer. QU still leads the set though, 18-16. Later on, it's Chloe Kahanui setting up the left hand of Ari Diaz. She was going to be on the show momentarily, but now we head into the second set. It's Kahanui again, takes the rebound off the net, as you see right here, and it's going to go out of bounds. QU still leads the match though, 2-0. Late in the third set, Kahanui makes a perfect set to Lexi Morse, who throws it down with authority. Robinson's squad is fired up after that kill, and they complete the sweep of Manhattan, 3-0. Let's now take a look at how the Bobcats' weekend split affected their MAC standings. On the screen we pull up here, Bobcats actually make some headway, moving up to 7th. They are at 5-6 on the season, 6-13 overall. But take a look at Fairfield up there, Maddie. 10-0 in conference play. That is the team to beat if you're Kyle Robinson's squad. Marist, Ryder, Niagara, and Canisius all round out the top 5.
Earlier today, Q30 volleyball beat reporter Eric Kerr sat down with junior right side hitter Ariana Diaz for tonight's Sports Paws Hot Seat.
Thanks, Maddie and Jack, and we are back for the second edition, back-to-back weeks of the Hot Seat, a new special interview segment here on Q30 Sports Paws. My name is Eric Kerr, alongside Ariana Diaz, who is a junior right side hitter for this Quinnipiac volleyball team. Ari, it's a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I said right side hitter in the intro, but you've been playing all over the place this year. You started out the year as a right side hitter, and then you started setting a little bit more. Now you're hitting exclusively outside. So I guess the first question I want to ask you is, what is the true position of Ariana Diaz?
True position is outside hitter, for sure. That's what I've been playing since I was probably like 12 years old.
Oh, really? Okay, so why was that? How did you get into that?
So when I started playing volleyball, I was a libero because of, my height. As soon as they see someone short, they're like, oh, libero, straight libero. But when I started getting older, I was able to jump a little more. So I started to really learn how to hit the ball more, more strategy-wise instead of just trying to go up and hit the ball straight down. So that's when it kind of turned around and I turned into more of an outside hitter.
Okay. And now you're back into that spot for this past weekend. You had a rotation where it was a 6-2 when you were hitting outside and even digging some passes in the back row as well. So is that going to be the rotation that, takes this team to, that championship level that three of you that we talked to in the past all kind of aspire to be to get that ring?
Yeah, I really think that rotation works a lot more because we have the ability to have more hitters open on the court when we have the 6-2, since the setters are back row and we have 3 front row hitters and our back row hitter the other outside. So I think it will work.
For sure. And what does it kind of take to to get everything to work outside of just the setup? What does the team need to do to be able to get to that point?
Definitely a lot of communication, especially since we have more hitters on the court in that rotation. If everyone's openly calling for the ball and making sure we're all ready to go when the ball's coming over, we're all transitioning properly, we're all calling for the ball, making sure our setters know that we're open, and I think that'll really help our offense a lot more.
And 2 games of the homestand wrapped up this weekend, 5 more for that 7-game home streak coming up. So I got to ask you, what's kind of the prediction of what that record could look like by the end of it? It's 1-1 right now, but how could it finish out?
I think it'll turn out for the better with all the rest of the games being home. We have a different energy when we're here at home, so I think if we keep pushing a little more, with this new rotation and everything, it'll turn out a lot better than it's been on the road.
And what really brings out that energy at home?
Just having all the fans and the support of, family that can come to the game, friends coming out, once you get that little like taste of the energy of them wanting to be there, you're like, oh, I have something to play for, you know?
Exactly, and that homestand will continue this weekend. It's going to be 2 slated games, Saturday and Sunday, both at 1 o'clock p.m. But Ari, thank you so much for joining me at the desk here, the hot seat today.
Of course, thank you so much for having me again.
Of course, and Maddie and
It's time for us to take our last break of the evening here on Sports Paws, but do not go anywhere. Golf, cross country, and tennis, we're all in action this weekend. Plus, we have the top 5 plays on the other side of the break. Do not go anywhere.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spotlight on this last one. There it is.
Keep going with it. Leo! They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
We got to go straight to top 5 plays. We cannot wait any longer, and it's play number 5. We're on the rugby field. Senior Allison Koenig finds Mattia Saren Hemo Vanderhorst, who then tosses the ball to Kate Story for the try.
Now on to play number 4. David Barcito sends a long pass to first year Sam McCann. McCann tricks the defender with a rainbow flick, dribbles to the left side, and launches a shot into the back of the net. And he sure seems pumped after that one.
We got to head over to the ice for play number 3 here. It's women's hockey. Renee Saltness blasts a shot. That doesn't go, but Taylor House comes flying in. T-House deposits. That's the ECAC Hockey Player of the Week. Take another look. Shot, no good. Oh, Taylor House is there. It's now good.
Back to soccer for play number 2. Selena Salas takes the corner kick and boots it to sophomore Courtney Choco, who passes it back to Ella Gagno. Gagno blasts a beautiful strike into the top right corner of the net.
Back to the ice we go. This is Zoe Boyd. She's going to send the puck all the way across for Courtney Forster, and Forster gets it past. Everyone's fired up. Everyone gets some goals. Take another look right here. Long pass by Boyd. Forster there to do the cleanup work. Bobcats would tie twice against Providence. That's your number 1 play. That was a little too electric. I need something else to look forward to this weekend, other than Fall Fest, of course. So here's what's coming up in Bobcat Nation. Some women's soccer action there going on against Iona. Men's hockey takes on Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Women's volleyball, MAC action against Canisius. And then men's soccer, also in MAC action, Monmouth. That's a big game for the Bobcats. What are you looking forward to?
The men's hockey game, Friday night.
Yeah, big game for the boys as they finally return back to Hamden.
This is all we have there this evening. Thank you for making this part of your Monday night.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30 Sports, find all of our work at Q30TV.com, and download our app, available on the App Store and Google Play.
For all of us behind the scenes, the producers, and the members that make this possible, we will see you right here next week. Same time, same place.
For Maddie Casford, I'm Jack Main. Good night, Bobcats.